Hi, everyone. Thank you for watching this recording. I'm sorry that I can't make it to your meeting on Wednesday mornings, but I wanted to give you just a review and some heads up on observations and evaluations. I wanted you to hear from me a little bit before I sent out emails and things like that, just to share some expectations and try to connect with you in a different way. So nothing is really changing this year about observations and evaluations, and we don't have any new teachers on the team this year for the first time in a while. So there isn't anything really, new news for you, but I just wanted to touch base on a few things. So this is just our timeline this year. And I'll show you the link. We're using the same system that we used last year. I believe it was new last year for the first year, if I'm remembering that correctly. So September and October, I'm sure you remember every year putting in some professional goals for yourself and then some high quality student data sources. I will get to one of your meetings and talk a little bit more about this because we're going to take it one step further than we did last year. And then we will obviously have our formal and informal evaluations depending on the cycle that you're on. And then we'll continue to move through some of these items, moving into May, putting in that final ranking and sending out the information for you as well after all of that's processed. So it's a traditional timeline. Nothing there has really changed much. And then you can see here with evaluation cycles, as always, if you received an accomplished evaluation, you have 2 years where you're on a carryover rating. If you received a skilled evaluation, you have 1. And then you'll go back into, after that time that has passed, you will go back to a full formal evaluation. I will send you an email to let you know exactly which cycle you're on. You can also see that if you log into the evaluation system right here with this rating carried forward. You can see it highlighted. You may also see full evaluation there. And that can also give you something if you want to know sooner, then I can get you that email. Okay, oops, sorry. And just to comment on that, obviously formal evaluation, you have those 2 formals with the full rubric. Informal, you have more walkthroughs. And then speaking of walkthroughs, these are much more informal, still have conversations about them. And these are if you're on the carryover. Everyone receives walkthroughs, but if you're on the carryover rating, you won't have those 2 formals. You will just have the walkthroughs. You may receive walkthroughs from grade band principals, assistant principals, or lead teachers. So if you teach 3rd grade, you may receive maybe something from Amy Borchers or one of the assistant principals on her team. And these walkthroughs focus primarily on that instructional piece, watching a lesson, not so much the before and after and the other things on the rubric that are touched on, but that center piece of that rubric on instruction and assessment. So talking about what I need from you to do first. So obviously we want to put our goals in. I'm giving you guys until October 20th. If something comes up and you need more time, you can reach out to me, but that's a teacher work day. So I figured going through that day allows you that opportunity. You're required to have 2 goals in the system, and 1 goal must be aligned to live instruction, and these goals should be measurable. And we will discuss them during your conferences. And then high quality student data, and I'm going to show you where this is in the system in just a minute. You need to have 2 forms of data. This value added piece doesn't necessarily apply to your team. So I'm going to take that out of there. But these are things where you may put in benchmark data. And sorry about this SDI here. Have benchmark data for your students. You may use classroom data. Map data is probably a big thing for a lot of you, unless of course you have students who are too young or are seniors and don't take that. You may have other indicators and tests used at the different grade levels that you can utilize. If you're unsure if something is considered high quality student data or not, we can talk about that. Like I said, I'll come into a meeting and we can touch on different forms of data, but really it's something quantitative that you can point to and say, this is how I know students are struggling. This is how I know they're growing. So when you go to do this, it's the same site as we used last year, and I'll give you this PowerPoint and you can click here and this is the login. If you have any trouble, try that forgot username and password first. And if you still have trouble getting in, let me know and I can do my best to help you out. So once you get in there, you'll see this feed for anything that, I've completed or anything like that. You're going to click your evaluation over here in the upper right. And then you the 2 pieces that we need done by October 20th is this professional growth plan and the high quality student data piece there as well. So this is what they look like. Again, not new to you guys. You'll add your goal in here for your, you'll add 2 goals. You'll click here to add the goals. Again, you'll see this PowerPoint with some support there. If you struggle with writing goals, sometimes I do, finding where to really focus, look at these standards for the teaching profession, and that will give you some ideas of ways to start wording your goals, basing them off of those standards. And then your high quality student data, you can add your measures right here. And you need to add 2 measures, and then I'll go off and sign off on, I'll go into the system and sign off on those measures. So what's next? I'm going to send everyone an email to include this PowerPoint, a list of important links, including the site to get in, how to, the items that are in this PowerPoint, the full evaluation rubric, a pre-conference observation form for you to fill out before we meet if you're in formal evaluation. I'll also let you know your evaluation cycle, whether you're a full evaluation or a carryover rating. And then an opportunity to sign up for evaluation conferences. This fall, I'm focusing on those formal evaluations first. I probably won't get to most of the informals until next semester. And then I will have open office hours on Wednesday and Friday of this week at noon. And then if those don't work out for you and you have questions, you are welcome to stop in. Those office hours are open for you guys, as well as my intervention specialist. So feel free to jump in if you just even want to hear the questions that people are asking. I really appreciate your time today, taking the time to listen to this video, and hopefully this gives you an idea of where we need to go moving forward. And like I said, I'd be more than happy to talk with anyone if you have questions and about expectations or anything else with the process or anything at all. So thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.